How you doing, guys? One thing we can all agree with. It's a good thing if you can walk away from a high control group, because it's not easy. It's always a good thing if you can walk away from Jehovah's Witnesses. But let's face it, none of us have walked away unscathed. We all know the damage that was done with the organization. Some people worse than others, especially the people who were born in. But I did notice a great deal of mental illness while I was a JW, the alcohol abuse, which is not really talked about too much on the inside, but it is there. So it's natural to realize that if Jehovah's Witnesses were damaged that badly, so were many ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. None of us have come out of this untouched. Like I said, some worse than others. There was a YouTuber, I'm not going to name him, several years ago, who didn't quite fit in. And as time went on, people started realizing what he was and backing off. He got very angry. He started lashing out at everybody for not accepting him. Well, that's a personal preference. That's up to each and every individual. He would get angry, lash out, disappear, try to reinvent himself and come back. And it never seemed to matter. It was always the same thing. And each time he came back, his views were less and less and less. And he didn't realize that the fault was his. Now, he had made a video some time ago. Why doesn't God care about my singleness? And he didn't realize he may have had his answer. He just didn't like it. He wanted a woman. I don't blame him for that. He was looking for a spouse. But maybe he just wasn't ready for it. It was obvious this guy was a full-blown narcissist. And he would not admit it. See, it was everybody else's fault. As a matter of fact, he blamed a lot of us on YouTube for damaging his reputation, when it was he himself that had damaged his reputation. Now, the one thing about a narcissist that's really not talked about too much, they're very one-sided, and it's not love they're looking for. It's constant reassurance. And the thing is, they need this on a daily basis. As most narcissists, their self-confidence is fake. And they need you to reassure it on a daily basis. Thing is, if they're not hearing it, they get very angry. And the unfortunate thing is, once you are under their control, it's a constant beatdown. Sometimes passive-aggressively, sometimes not. But this is where they're at. Now, we all know the organization is quite narcissistic, and it's a constant beatdown. And this is where a great deal of mental illness stems from. Now, there are a lot of reasons for mental illness, but the organization doesn't do it any good because it feeds it. There were many people that come out with a great deal of mental illness. Matter of fact, it wouldn't hurt any of us to seek some sort of counseling because it did do its damage. Some people more so than others. Now, I was talking about this one YouTuber. Now, he wanted a spouse really badly, but he wasn't ready for one. He didn't think of that. When he was asking God, I want a spouse, well, maybe God was protecting the women against you. Because narcissists, and I talked about this about a month ago, are not good people. They have no redeeming value. And the thing is, where they have no accountability, they never accept what their faults. See, the thing is, with a narcissist, it's always someone else's fault. They will never hear your argument. They will never be able to discuss it because you're at fault, not them. They see themselves as nice guys. They see themselves as good people, but they are not good people. And unfortunately, this is where it goes, and they're just awful. The other thing, too, that I have noticed, with this person, I had noticed it, when you lash out over and over and over, people don't want to hear that. Matter of fact, I was talking to another YouTuber last week, and we noticed anytime we went after people, we would lose subscribers. Because this is not what people are here for. Now, they were obviously things that definitely needed to be said, but they weren't seeing it. So we lost subscribers over it, even though it was something we had to say. The unfortunate thing a lot of people don't realize, and YouTubers as well, on social media, when you constantly go on the attack, people kind of back away. And this is something I have noticed, and as a matter of fact, there's a few people I have backed away from. Let's face it, we all get angry. And we lash out at people. Nothing wrong with that. That's natural. But when you do it over and over and over, you tend to lose credibility. It's kind of like whatever your issue is, get over it. Straighten it out directly with the person, or just flat out shut up. Because people don't realize that. They cannot take you serious. And now this is on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, any type of social media, or even in your personal life. People don't want to hear that. After a while, they get bored with it. Now, I've noticed a lot of delusional people in the XJWs. And the one thing is, if they're bored with their life, if their life is going nowhere, what do? They start making things up for attention. That also doesn't work because you lose credibility. But the constant bashing, if you're angry with somebody, that's nobody's business. And in all honesty, you're really not going to hurt them because much like this YouTuber I was talking about a few years ago, the more he lashed out, the less credibility he had. So whatever your personal issue is, leave it off of social media because it just doesn't work. Like I said, we've all been damaged by this org to a degree, some more so than others. But none of us have left this organization untouched. So before you get too angry and lash out and say things that you can't retract, just remember, tomorrow's going to be a new day. Situations can change because the damage you do today can't be undone, and you may regret it. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I want to say on the subject. I guess some things to do early this morning. I will talk to you later. You all have a good day.